everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media. If you guys are ready for this game, let us know in the comment section down below. This is the biggest game of the year for the Ravens. This is playing for the number 1 seed. This might be the biggest game ever played at M&T Bank Stadium in the regular season. It's a huge matchup. No Kyle Hamilton. Huge win last week against the Niners. Joshua, how you feeling about this game?
Oh man, listen, man, this is the last stream of the year. This is going to be one of the biggest games of this year to end out, especially for Baltimore. Granted, we wanted to flex the game to the night game, but Brandon Scott, shout out to him, the newborn, and the fiance and everything of that nature. Because of how the nature of Baltimore is, he said no. But other than that, house and never, man. I'm still excited for this game, man. We control our destiny. We don't need no extra wins. We don't need no help from anybody else. I mean, yes, we are going to be missing ball skills, Brandon Stevens. Yes, we're going to be missing Kyle Hamilton. Some big pieces. But also Miami Dolphins going to be missing some pieces as well. I believe their running back Mozart not going to be playing as well. This is not the same team that they played against a year ago, where they took out where Miami took that hot start and just kept on moving. We will be ready. We will be prepared. We all know how the Ravens are. They are the next man up type of team. So the next man up, that plays safety, whether it's Geno Stone, Daryl Worley. I'm sorry that I got to bring his name up. Hopefully he comes out and play good ball.
Another thing is we have some pieces that were questionable, right? We have Zay Flowers. He's going to be in the lineup. Unfortunately, Kevin Zeitler is not going to be there. But it is the right guard position where Ben Cleveland is more comfortable. That is his natural position. He struggled at left guard before in his career. However, at right guard, that's where he played at Georgia. That's what it's always been assumed he would take over for Kevin Zeitler. Hopefully he's able to have a good game today because the Dolphins do have a decent pass rush. They've got guys like Bradley Chubb, Zach Seiler, shout out to Ozzie Newsome's final ever draft pick. It's going to be a difficult matchup, but not having Waddle is huge for the Dolphins because they have the best 1-2 punch in the NFL when it comes to wide receivers. Like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are the fastest ever duo. In addition, they're probably a top 10 duo just ever to play together. I mean, Tyreek Hill's the best receiver in the league. Jalen Waddle is, top 15, top 20, but his play style perfectly complements because they're both crazy fast and they're able to just, whichever one sends them deep because you basically have to play too deep every single time because of the speed that they have. So not having him is huge. It allows us to play one over top when Tyreek Hill is there. That's the biggest thing, right? Stop the Tyreek Hill. And it's not necessarily just like, I think a lot of people see Tyreek Hill and they think, oh, it's the streaks and the deep post. Yes, that's how we can get you. But the biggest thing is like the 20-yard crosser where he catches it over the middle of the field in full sprint and nobody's there to stop him. And then he's able to bend it up the sideline and take it 60, 70 yards for a touchdown. That's where Tyreek Hill dominates because Tua doesn't have the arm that Patrick Mahomes had, right? With Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek was deadly going deep because Patrick Mahomes put the ball out 60 yards and Tyreek Hill was able to run under it. Tua, he can probably throw it 50 with accuracy, which isn't awful. People like to clown on him, but he's not like that 10-yard difference is huge because being able to run with Tyreek Hill for 50 yards versus 60 yards, drastically different because he just gets another step and another step like every 2 yards. That's how fast he is. So, I want to make sure that the Ravens are getting pressure on Tua and hitting the quarterback. And Achan's a good back out of Texas A&M. I actually wanted to draft Achan. I really liked Achan in the draft.
Yeah.
I felt like the Ravens should go after a speed back like that. We ended up getting Keaton Mitchell, which I'm very happy about. I think the Ravens probably made the right choice. But he's a guy that if he sees a hole, he's going to hit it. And you're not going to be able to catch up to him. And the one thing about him is he gets banged up a lot. Every time I watch a Dolphins game, Achan gets hurt. Also, Waddle does. I don't know if people know this, but Jalen Waddle gets injured more than any player I've ever seen in NFL history. That guy goes down and is like, I have him in fantasy, so I'm like watching the Dolphins. I'm like, come on, Jalen Waddle. Um, oh my gosh. It's like, dude, did he tear his knee 3 times in a game? He'll go down and he's like grimacing and holding his leg, and you're like, no. And then all of a sudden he like he's on the field 2 plays later, and they're like, oh, he just rolled his ankle. And you're like, what? This guy's going crazy. But
It's that
I
youth.
think that the biggest thing is you want to continue what you did last week, and you want to be physical. You want to hit the quarterback. You want to hit the running backs. Roquan Smith, that's what he does best. Is he goes out. I mean, the best way to say it, he goes out headhunting. Like he's out there to hit people, and he doesn't hit people illegally. I'm not trying to say hit guys late or anything like that. But when they like come across the middle, I want them to hit it. If you get an opportunity for a big hit, I want to see them take it. Because this is a fast team, but they're also, if you start hitting them, their players are not the 49, right? Like it's not like we're hitting Debo and Christian McCaffrey, who are like difficult. Like you got to arm tackle those guys. You can't just hit them and they will fall down.
Yeah.
Dolphins players, you hit them, they will fall down. Like it's just very different styles. They're a speed, not physical team.
Yeah, they're the Oregon. I know people may knock me for this, but they are the Oregon, the University of Oregon of the NFL. All speed, no real power, things of that nature. Not saying the University of Oregon never had no big power guys as far as wide receivers, backs. We all know the history of Oregon, but at the end of the day, it was beautiful jerseys, all Nike out, and nothing but speed. Come on now. But Miami got arguably some of the best damn jerseys in the NFL history. I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Yes, we are Ravens fans, but when it comes to I think McConnell will agree with me on this. When it comes to colorways and stuff like that, we do get props when it's given. It's, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, it's gonna be a good game, man. I love the fact that you brought up Roquan. And Roquan is not a dirty player. Roquan is actually bringing that same energy that Ray Lewis brought when he got drafted in '96. And it's like we've been missing that piece of the defense, and now we finally got it back. And then on top of that, I don't know if you feel like this as well, McConnell. We also getting a leader on the offensive side of the ball, especially with Lamar Jackson, and you getting the hype man and Odell. No, he's not no Mark Ingram. You feel me? Big trust, baby, all that stuff like that. But no, man, they both bring a level of swag. They both bring a level of passion to both sides of the ball that these guys are feeding off, man. I love the fact that Lamar Jackson's keeping his head down. When the press asks him certain questions, even though he did, address Mike Florio, afterwards, man. I mean, he just had to be real about that, man. You can't keep on disrespecting these men. These men, put the pads on every day, and they come out here and they work hard. On any given Sunday, we all know that the Ravens can get the game away. The Ravens can rise to the occasion and blow teams out, which they did. On Christmas, and we're thankful that the Ravens did that, man. Because honestly, the way this team has been being counted out, the way this team has been talked about, I would have a chip on my shoulder too. And it wouldn't be the I wouldn't just, what's the word? I wouldn't give up under the pressure. I love what this team is doing. I'm like, yo, they taking it in, they internalizing it, and they whipping ass on the field. They're not going to their Instagram, they're not going to their Twitters or Facebook, whatever the case may be, and talking about everybody that's saying something bad about them. They're going on the field and showing everybody what they can do. I don't know if you was watching any of the ESPN talks or Skip Bayless and company, but Richard Sherman talked about the Ravens and Lamar Jackson so bad before the Christmas game that we wasn't even going to move the damn ball. And then when the game was over, Sherman, that was the quietest thing he was very quiet. He said, "Yeah, shout out to the Ravens, man. They won the game." He didn't say no more.
Yeah. And I think this is something that's really interesting because people talk about Lamar Jackson, right? And obviously the hope is Lamar Jackson is able to win the MVP again, because there's only like 8 or 9 players that have ever done it. And the worst. This is a very loose worst. Is Kurt Warner with multiple MVPs, and Kurt Warner is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. If Lamar Jackson is able to win MVP, he's already going to be joining the Hall of Fame. But the best thing is people are going to look at him, right, and they're going to be like, man, but like he can't get it done in the postseason, right? Like that's the thought process with Lamar. That's the negative.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning had 2 MVPs in 2004. Peyton Manning didn't go to the Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl until 2006. Like, people talk about Peyton Manning. It was like, dude, Peyton Manning couldn't win in the postseason. And it's like, and now people look at Peyton Manning and they don't look at him like, oh, he couldn't win in the postseason. They look at him as the best regular season quarterback of all time. And in my opinion, if I have a quarterback, like Peyton Manning is my guy. Like, if there's like drive to win it all, or you need a guy like life on the line, like Peyton Manning's my guy. I'm never taking anybody over Peyton Manning. I don't think I ever could. But like, it took him a little bit to win. And it was so he started in 1998. He didn't win a Super Bowl in 2000 until 2006. That's year like 8, 9. But Lamar's acted like he has to have a Super Bowl in year 6?
Yeah.
Like, if he wins an MVP, it shows like he's in the top 2 of quarterbacks, maybe even of players, at least offensive players, with Patrick Mahomes. Like, he starts to enter that conversation. And that's not to mention what could happen in the postseason. Like, imagine, obviously this is a lot of things. Imagine Lamar wins the MVP because he plays great this game, whatever, and then wins the Super Bowl. You're looking at him and Patrick Mahomes as they both have 2 MVPs. Pat Mahomes has 2 Super Bowls. Lamar Jackson has 1, but Lamar's played 1 less year. Like, that's huge. I don't think people realize how crazy it would be if Lamar won another MVP, and he's right now the odds-on favorite. So we need a huge game out of Lamar Jackson for the MVP, because it'll just get people to start like yeah, you can criticize him for not having a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, there's 8 players in history, like 8 or 9, maybe it'd be 10 players with Lamar Jackson that have it, and it's guys like Montana, Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes, Favre, Jim Brown is the only non-quarterback, I believe, on that list. This is a huge game, legacy game for Lamar, because this is a playoff game. This game makes you not have to play a game in 2 weeks, and I think these guys want to buy.
They need it. Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. If we went out today, do the starters play next Sunday? I know a lot of people ask that question. I know, that is a rivalry game. But like you said, this is the big one. This is for all the marbles. This is the playoff implicator. And if we went out, do you want our starters to play next week?
Probably not, because it's the Steelers. And guys get hurt. like that's a physical football game. I probably I wouldn't want Lamar playing. Maybe play the starters for the first half outside of Lamar. But I mean, I'm like, rest Kyle Hamilton, probably rest Marlon, probably rest Rowe. Rowe probably won't want rest, so he'll probably play. But I don't know. I mean, like, I think treat it like the final preseason game. So, like, maybe give your guys a little bit of snaps. But, I mean, in reality, 2 weeks of rest is huge, especially for the vets, especially for the guys that are a little bit banged up, because we do have some. But, I think it's more important to have the guys get rest, because I think the biggest thing is, like, 2 weeks is a long time to not play. But having watched, if you guys watch the New Heights show, the Kelsey show, those guys are Hall of Famers, but like, they're vets, and they talk about it, and they're like, also, I nailed the color. Okay, this is the best color. I mean, this is dead on right here.
Hey man, way to go out.
Got the color wheel. But like, they talk about it, they're like, that buy is unreal. because of the veterans and like getting your body right. And like the Ravens, like most of the Ravens guys, like, yeah, you're sitting out for 2 weeks, but honestly, 2 weeks of rest after now it's a 17 game season.
It's
I think
needed.
they're like, it's going to feel good. And like, they're going to be practicing, like, they're going to be going, full speed at practice. It's not like they're going on vacation for 2 weeks. It's not like the bye week. Cause like the bye week, guys go on vacation sometimes. It's like, hey, we're taking this week off and get your body right. This would be like, okay, we're practicing and then we're practicing and then we're practicing. Like, it's not anything
Yeah.
to just sit out and, you're not going to go cold, but.
And I mean, once again, man, like I said before, this is a different vibe. This is a different team. I don't think this team is going to be, like I said before, outside shagging and dragging. They're not going to be out West East Baltimore. I feel like this group of guys are going to be preparing, resting their bodies, getting ready. And because I know a lot of people love to say, when players get paid, you don't get the same type of athlete. Shout out to Lamar Jackson of beating that narrative, because even though yes he did get paid, he's still playing like Lamar Jackson from his like he's under his rookie contract. So I feel like this year, especially with Todd Monken, he finally he's comfortable with an OC, where he can be him, where he can actually play the game that he wants to play. And I feel like him and Todd is going to link up over the 2 week break when we went out. I'm just speaking into existence that we're gonna go ahead and do our thing today, because this team is they're locked in, they're focused.
Yeah,
I feel like him and Tom Monken is going to be linking up throughout those 2 weeks and working on different schemes, different plays, stuff like that, coming together. Working on the different checkdowns and stuff like that. I love the fact that we are seeing a level of respect and comfortability in the OC and quarterback relationship, because we haven't seen that. I don't know. I don't know if you feel like you're getting that energy from Todd and Lamar, but when you look at everybody else's team and their OC and their quarterback and head coach, they let their quarterback be them. They let their quarterback run the show, and it seemed like more this year Lamar has been running the show. Granted, they had some plays where whether Todd or Lamar called it didn't work out. But for the most part, they've been dialing up some things, and they've been getting the job done.
Absolutely. And it's time.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Joshua, let's start with the offense. What do you got here? Bold
Oh
predictions.
man. Let me think about it. I think we got to end the year out on the Jackson 5, McConnell.
I like it.
I got
He did it in his MVP year.
Yeah.
Against the Dolphins.
Let's go 300. Let's go 300 passing yards, 75 rushing yards out of Lamar.
I need that for my fantasy leagues this week. Championship week. I'm gonna need a big Lamar game. I'm gonna say 100 yards and 2 touchdowns for Justice Hill.
That would be big. He needs that.
What about the defensive side of the ball?
Oh man, you know what? Without ball skills, without BS ball skills, Brandon Stevens, and no Kyle Hamilton. You know what? I still feel like this secondary will mess around and clutch up. I got us getting 4 turnovers this game, 2 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions.
I'm gonna say Tyreek Hill under 40 yards receiving.
Now that
we hold defense holds him to that. And then I guess final big game of the year, pre-playoffs. Let's do a score prediction. What do you got?
If we do not put the pressure on Tua, I feel like it's going to be a 30-24 type of game. If we do put the pressure on Tua, I'm gonna say 34. I'm gonna say 35-14. So that's my two score predictions.
I'm gonna say 34-16.
I like that.
Yeah. All right, guys. I like some of these. We got Bateman 2 tutties, Darby and away get a pick. Love that. Ravens 30-20. Kimberly, anytime I see a Ravens win prediction, I'm happy with it. I would love that score. But guys, thank you all so much for coming through. Subscribe for more content. I apologize. I was sick this week, so couldn't really do a stream midweek, but we're able to get this one done. Hopefully we can do one next week as a post-game reaction and things like that. Thank you all so much. We'll see y'all.
Hold on, McConnell. I know you feeling bad. I'm feeling terrible my damn self. But y'all, before we leave this stream today, make sure y'all wish the man, the myth, McConnell a happy pre-birthday. His birthday is tomorrow, and this will be lovely for us to the end of the year with a Ravens dub, man. So hey man, thank y'all for coming through the stream all the time. Make sure y'all share, like, subscribe, comment, let y'all family members know that TTB is always going strong, man. We'll see y'all in the new year with a dub, with that bye too in the playoffs.
Thank you guys so much, and thank you. I'm not saying it. Thank you, Mr. Bondrude. He's got me before. He's not getting me today. Hopefully next time we see you guys, Ravens have locked up the #1 seed. And we'll see all of you again next time.